There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello everyone and welcome to Sci-Fi Talk in the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 4 of season 2 of Van Helsing.
Yay! I just want to say that it was really fun having them tweet along with us lately.
Yes. Last night was extremely fun with Alex and Kelly and the showrunners. They were very active tweeting, and it was a blast.
Yes, it's so cool when they answer like some of the stuff. It's like, dang, it's like, right? So it's just funny when they get together. So I love the fact that so many of the shows on Sci-Fi, like the cast actually will have almost cast parties.
Right.
To tweet along and do all this. So awesome. Thank you guys. We appreciate that. And of course we appreciate everybody else who's tweeting along with us and tweeting the show because just, a lot of us out there doing it. It's great. It's like a big family. So, speaking of the family, somebody's got some numbers to talk about. How many of us were watching it?
All right. Episode 4 brought in a 0.11 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.456 million viewers, making it the 96th rated cable show for the day. So, holding very steady there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 5 plus 7.
Episode 2 did not make the top 25 for the week.
That's surprising.
Yes, it really was, after being 17th for the first episode.
Maybe a lot of people were annoyed with that sound. It gets better, though. It got a lot better.
Yes.
So maybe you just listen to us instead, because I won't make those weird sounds. I make other weird sounds. Let's talk about episode 4, A Home. Vanessa encounters a group of vampires whose gruesome methods bring savagery to a whole new level. The juvenile delinquents continue their game of cat and mouse with Sam that has deadly consequences. So the opening was pretty distressing.
Yeah, because we open up with Sam walking down the hall of one of the compound there, and you see just a whole big pile of bodies laying there.
And making a necklace out of fingers.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I'm all for arts and crafts, but I don't know about this one, Sam. Yeah. And then, same time, you have that, screenshot, or not screenshot, split screen kind of going to Vanessa, and she's, going nuts and totally hacking up a feral. So you have these two very different moments, and both of them are completely distressing and disturbing and wow. And that was the opening, and then we get the title sequence. It's like, holy shit, what just happened? Yeah.
I think I tweeted, I'm not sure which one's more crazy, Sam or Vanessa right now.
Now, Sam is singing and stuff.
Yeah.
And does it seem to you like he can hear now? Because he
apparently, yes.
Okay, because I remember last season, he couldn't hear them, but he kept saying, I can smell you.
Right.
But, I think it was last episode, the kids are screaming, or it could have been this one. The juvenile delinquents are in the other room screaming, and he's getting mad because he can, it looked like he can hear them.
Right.
So I was confused with that.
Yeah, that very well could be a delayed healing that he's had since he's become a vampire.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. And Christopher, what's his last name? Hyder, the guy who plays Sam.
Right.
I'm going to screw up his last name again. Like, every time I try to say his last name, I screw it up.
Heyerdahl.
Heyerdahl, thank you. I'm like, I try to add letters.
No.
I'm like, Henderdahl, what? He is such a good actor, though.
Oh, he is amazing. He took creepy to a whole new level in this episode.
Right, because he's talking kind of like, similar to what you'd hear, like a deaf person talking, like, but obviously a little better because he can hear. But then he just looks creepy, and it's like his little movements are making Sam even weirder. Now, there was something going on with Sam that I had to ask you about. He looked like he was turning almost ghoulish. Because, like, under his eyes, it seemed really dark, almost black. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Okay, so we know he's feeding.
Oh, absolutely.
There's bodies everywhere, but do you think it's because a feral turned him or something else?
I think that's probably the feral.
Okay. Because I just thought it was so weird. And he just looked, I mean, granted, they were all pale.
Right.
But then when they fed, they didn't seem to have those super dark marks under their eyes. And his just looked like they're getting worse.
Right.
Like, I don't know, maybe you need to not indulge so much and maybe that'll go away. Who knows?
Yeah. Very true.
But poor Felix, who's the kid that I guess Sam wants him to be Muhammad.
Yeah, the Muhammad replacement.
That's not going so well for that kid. He may have been saved, but has he really been saved?
Oh, no. And I kind of have a feeling as bad as it was before Sam got there for him, it's worse now.
Right.
Because he's got to deal with Sam and he has no idea what he has to do to keep Snaps from snapping and killing him.
Right. Because, yeah, he's just batshit crazy.
Yeah. He tries to escape from the swimming pool and no luck. Sam's right there as soon as he makes it up the wall and tosses him back in.
Laughing.
Yeah. Said, no, you're not going nowhere.
He's like, we're not done.
No.
Like, wow. Okay. And apparently, Sam doesn't like bullies. I will say this. Because when he goes to pick out a kid to eat, that's messed up that I said that. He goes in and one of the so-called leaders of the juveniles, like, pushes some kid out front. Here, take him.
Right.
Oh, that didn't go over so well.
No.
No, because Sam's like, oh, okay, you want to be, Billy Badass, I'm taking you.
Right.
And he even started with, like, whipping his arms like they were doing to Felix.
Yes.
Which, I'll tell you, I was, like, cringing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, God. And then the kid couldn't do more than, 2? Or was it 3?
Yeah. 3, I think.
And, he's like, oh, okay, I'll stop. And then he kills him. And it's like, wow, okay. And these kids thought Felix was weak.
Yes.
So that kind of ticked me off right there. Because you're picking on somebody who you think's weaker than you and, like, torturing them. Well, it came back to bite you in the ass.
Sure did.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Bite you in the neck, whatever. But while this is happening, Felix does kind of have a way to I don't know, trick Sam into believing that he wants to be part of his world.
Right.
And then he, like, tries to pickpocket, which that was the worst case of pickpocketing.
Yeah.
I was like, God, that's bad. But he gets the key, he runs off, and Sam honestly didn't notice where he was, which was weird.
Right.
He goes to try to get the other juvies out, but breaks the key off in the lock, and I'm like, obviously that was the wrong key.
Yeah.
And then he takes off running, and he thinks he gets away, and, like, locks Sam into the basketball court outside, but Sam's all covered up and stuff. And I'm like, all right, but can't he just jump up to the top where you were?
Yeah.
Because I think he's a lot stronger and everything. And of course, the whole time, Sam was like, you caught me. I'm like, oh, God.
Yes.
You should know now that means that you didn't catch him.
Right.
So sorry.
But instead of trying to escape himself and get out of there, he goes back in trying to save the rest of them that are locked up in that room. And you just go, man, what are you thinking?
It's like, oh, you're a good kid. You're going to die. And instead, instead of being super pissed, which is what I was expecting,
Right.
crazy Sam is like, oh, it's okay. I'll give you a haircut like Muhammad.
Yeah.
And like, he's petting him. And all I could think of was Gossamer from Bugs Bunny. Or not Gossamer. What was the one? Was it the big sheepdog or something? I will pet him and love him and call him George.
Right, yes.
And then, he's like, oh, Muhammad. And Felix is like, my name is Felix. It's Felix. And I was thinking, oh, crap. Just say Muhammad.
Right.
But it, obviously very much torture, stuff we've seen in other shows. It's like trying to change your identity. But he was crazy. I don't know. I'd have to say, okay, yep, that's my name.
Yeah.
Because he pries open his mouth and cuts out his tongue. I was cringing.
Yes, major cringe.
Oh, God. I have goosebumps right now. Because that was rough.
Yes, it was.
And I was like, that kid needs to... He is not going to overcome and adapt, unlike in the other show.
Right.
He's going to be like me, lay down and cry a lot.
Yeah, he will probably spend most of the rest of the series that he survives in the fetal position.
Yes. I have a feeling he's not going to even try.
No, I don't think he will either.
Lay down and die after all that.
Yes, he will be begging Sam to kill him.
Yes. Oh, that's messed up. But let's talk about Vanessa and Julius for a minute.
Yeah, Vanessa is just completely torn up over the loss of her daughter, so she is taking it out on every single feral they run into.
So obviously, it was not a dream sequence.
No, it was not.
I was kind of hoping it was.
Right.
So, oh man.
Yes.
And so Julius is like, I'm a little concerned about you and your humanity. Huh, you think?
Yeah, because he's seen that type of brutality before when he was a vampire. Because she is right there knocking on the door of just going full vampire.
Of Crazy Town?
Yeah.
Like, let me in. I'm going to be the new mayor.
And so Julius finally comes up with the story that he can tell her about when he got to fight the heavyweight champion Max Bear, and that he lost the fight because he became too aggressive. If he would have just stayed with the game plan, he probably would have won the heavyweight championship, but no, he tried to get a little too aggressive, and that seems to give Vanessa a bit of a pause. So do we think that Julius is going to become Vanessa's conscience?
Oh, maybe. Maybe because he lost so much of himself for so long
Right.
that he really does know the other side.
Yes. And I think if they can stay alive, because Julius can be killed now.
Yeah.
He can't be turned, but he can be killed. So
it's always wait and see with these. It's like, who are they going to kill off next? That's how I feel.
Right, exactly.
But as they're walking through the woods, they see 3 bodies up in a tree, just hanging, and they're skinned. And Julius is like, we need to run. We need to go now. And she's just like,
Yes.
what are you talking about? Yeah.
I can handle anything.
And when Julius is freaked out, maybe you should pay attention.
Yes.
She's like, no. This is something you've never seen. These are skinners. And I'm like, what the hell are skinners?
Yeah.
And apparently, exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because the costuming, I'm going to say kudos to the costuming department.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there was faces, like, all stitched together. And it was so weird. Oh, God.
Yes.
It was so weird.
Their jackets were made out of skin, everything.
It was like all their face. I mean, you've seen like the faces all around, and they wore the faces on their face, and it was like, all right, face. But anyway, so the one, because Julius is like, get away from Vanessa, and Vanessa is like, get away from Julius. So
yeah,
Julius is basically
Julius, yeah.
Right, he's basically talking crap, and they go and like taste him by cutting him, and then they're like, blah, blah, spit. This is horrible. He's like, and then Vanessa's like, I did that, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
So they go over to her, she's tied to a tree, and the one is like cutting off a big piece of skin, and I'm cringing right now. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And in the background, you just see like a kid like running from tree to tree. And as this is happening, and does he taste her blood? No, he smelled it,
No.
right?
Yeah.
And she's healing. And all of a sudden this kid pops up, like walks past them, and Vanessa's looking like, what the hell's happening? Because the little girl is just standing there in between these three Skinners. I thought, okay, and before we go on, I thought instantly she was like they were like protecting her or something.
Right.
Because they didn't even react to her.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh my God, this is like...
Yeah, they're using kids.
Yeah. And it turns out that's not it, because the kid takes off running, and then all of a sudden they're like, basically, get her. And they go running, and, well, it's a trap, but not for the kid, it was for the Skinners.
Right.
Which surprised me.
Yes, because Vanessa pulls out of her ropes and just hauls off after him.
Yeah, she grabs
and leaves Julius on the fence.
That's what she grabs the tomahawk, and I'm like, she just left him. I'm like, dude, that's kind of harsh. Yeah. And that's what I tweeted out, and Julius is like, I said the same thing. Or sorry, Alex. And then Kelly's like, so did I.
Yeah.
Well, at least they went back for him, but
right.
Just leave him.
Yeah, so when Vanessa gets up to where the girl has completely stopped and the Skinners are about on her, all of a sudden arrows start flying from the trees.
Yeah.
And one of them goes through one of the Skinners' eyes, and they get taken down very easily and very quickly.
What I didn't understand was the man who had come out with the kids, and he's like, before we bury them, do we have to bury you? And I'm like, why would you bury them? Why wouldn't you just pull them out into the sun?
Right.
Like, you don't want to take a chance that somehow they can heal.
Yes. You burn them.
Right.
Crispy cream them right now.
Yes, exactly. But he ends up they go back for Julius off screen.
Yes.
And take them back to their encampment.
I would say so.
I seriously was waiting for Rufio to come out the way it was. Like the stuff in the trees, and I'm like, Rufio. Anyway.
Yes. Very Lost Boyish feel to it.
Yes.
There was no doubt, because there were, maybe a handful of adults and
I thought
30
there was
children
only the
something.
2 adults. Were there more?
And it might have been. There might have just been
some older
teenagers
kids.
that were older. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. And Julius is like, oh, this is great. And Vanessa was pulling at me. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for something. And that's why Steve and I were tweeting back and forth, which is funny. At least we're not in the same room doing it like I've done before. He's like, no, this is going to be good for her. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't believe you. And then we see the kid, and this one kid who's talking to Vanessa, and all of a sudden she sees something on his arm, and she's like, what's that? And he's like, we're not supposed to talk about it. And I'm like, instantly, I'm like tweeting back to Steve, told you so.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, so what are they doing? Like, if they don't do something they want, they're abused like those other kids.
Right.
And they want to talk to Vanessa because he's like, you've been very negative.
Right. We don't want to expose the kids to this negativeness.
Yeah, first of all, that's the reality of what's happening out there, but okay. And she confronts him, and it's like, no, it's where he came from. I'll show you tomorrow. You can come with us. We don't want him to talk about it because we don't want him to relive it.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's a reasonable explanation.
Yes.
But then, obviously, we as the audience know what's happening. Vanessa doesn't know.
Right.
So, as Vanessa, do you believe it? Or is it one of those things you're going to have to wait to see?
Yeah, I think Vanessa's waiting to see it before she believes it.
Okay.
And so they go out and they arrive at the designated meeting spot, and the group that they're supposed to meet doesn't show.
And of course, there's questions.
Yes, from both Vanessa and
the adult.
And basically they tell her they don't want, they wouldn't break their agreement, but at the same time, she says, well, that's good because I'm not part of your group yet, so I can go ahead and cross the bridge and find out what's going on.
Yeah. Well, lo and behold, she's at the juvenile detention center.
Of course. Yeah, as soon as they got to the meeting spot and they didn't show, I tweeted out, I have a funny feeling Sam and Vanessa are going to be reunited here very soon.
Oh, yeah. Because Julius, with Vanessa, of course.
Yes.
They go in and they see a ton of dead bodies. And,
yeah, the pile of dead bodies that we saw from the opening.
Right. And, Julius is on edge. Like, oh, shit, there could still be in here. And she's like, these aren't ferals. And that's when she notices the fingers missing.
Yes.
Ah, jeez. She's like, yeah, find survivors and get them to safety, but I have something I have to take care of that I should have done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna go, pear-shaped really quick.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there going, God dang it, you need help. But at the same time, she doesn't want anybody in Sam's line of sight, basically.
Right. Yes. She's trying to save as many people as she can by not letting them get involved.
Right. Good or bad, I have no idea. But yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe you should have just taken him out properly last season.
Right. Instead of letting Mohammed talk you into being merciful.
Because that didn't work out.
Not so much.
Well, I don't know. Did it? Because you said that he's the one who saved Muhammad.
Right.
I still didn't feel like that was who saved Muhammad, but...
Right. And we see it in this episode. We get a quick shot of this ninja guy again. And I could have swore that the first one had the same costume that Sam wears with the goggles and the thing over the face so he doesn't get burned so he can travel during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe not.
Maybe
it could be
else.
somebody completely different.
Which I'm like, who is this ninja coming at us?
Right. And yeah, we have no idea if he's good or bad. I mean, we see him taking out the bad guys, but that don't mean nothing.
Right. That's survival.
That's right.
Guess we'll find out. And we had a little bit of a moment with Axel and Doc. Not too much, but it was weird because all of a sudden Axel's like, do it, Doc, do it, get the stuff. And it's like, what is happening? So she's like tying him to a tree, took those railroad spikes and like tied it or like knocked it into the rope. And one part of the rope was like through his mouth.
Right. So he couldn't feed.
But are you leaving him there? Is he changing? I mean, what's happening? Is he forever going to be like that?
Yeah, that's a good question because they got to eat. And the doc keeps saying, you can feed on me, you can feed on me. And he refuses.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, does he somehow know, kind of like Doc seemed to know with Vanessa, that you don't want to feed on her?
Right.
Would she be able to heal him as well?
You would kind of think so.
Like, if he actually bit her. Because, like, the Skinner who tasted Julius, just spit it out.
Right.
I don't know. But
well, that's
Dylan,
true because he didn't actually change. He just spit it out saying it tasted bad.
Right. But with Dylan trying, well, I thought she did because she said it tasted horrible.
Yeah, she did. She tried. She bit Julius as well.
So
apparently it won't change you back. So I guess there's not enough of Vanessa's DNA in their blood to
just makes them taste horrible.
Right.
They can't be a carrier, I guess.
Yeah.
Ay. This one, I have so many questions. I don't know if I'm ever going to get answers. Not thoroughly.
Right.
But what do you guys think? What questions do you have? And are we all on the same page with this? Shoot us an email at syfytalk@fangirlzone.com. That's SYFY, just like the station. Obviously, you guys know this. Don't forget to rate and review us on all the podcatchers that you're finding us on, especially iTunes, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends. We do hope you're enjoying the podcast. Don't forget to check out www.fangirlzone.com and all the new little things that we keep putting up. And check out our Facebook page. Steve tends to post stuff up there, but I know they're changing their algorithm, so it is going to be a little harder. So you would have to actually find us at FG Zone or look at Look at our webpage, and you'll have the link to the Facebook page, too. So, for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I am Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. We're not lost. We just don't know where we're going.
Sounds like my husband. And until next time.